Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. How's it going today? This awesome Saturday morning. Hope everyone's doing well, doing good. For those that are up already, making things happen, hope got the right mindset, making things happen already, putting things in place to attack the day. But if you're not, if you don't have those things in place yet, you don't have the right mindset, then that's what this here is for. So, good morning, Vincenza. How's it going today? So we're going to, I got a good one for you today. It's pretty good stuff. It's pretty funny actually because it's just the way I talk all the time and people get tired of it. But when Jocko helps reinforce my thinking, I love it. I love it. So let's get into it. Sugar-coated lies, okay? Just so you know I'm not making it up. Sugar-coated, let me go this way. Sugar-coated lies, all right? Jocko. So it's not just me. It's not Coach Alvarez just saying these things all the time. It is Jocko for those. So for those that are looking up to Jocko and stuff like that, we are going to share the goodies here. So it says, yes, I know. I know those donuts are tempting. All those colorful sprinkles, the cream filling, the glaze, the glorious glaze. And on top of all that, they are free. Someone brought them in and just left them here, right here, right in front of me. Surely this must be some kind of sign, some kind of miracle, right? I mean, food is food, and if it's free, I pretty much need to eat it. It would be ungrateful for me to say no, right? Wrong, dead wrong. Those donuts aren't food. They are poison. Same with the chocolate chip cookies, the double Dutch chocolate cake, the can of soda, the bag of potato chips, and the pretzel wrapped hot dogs. All that junk isn't food. It doesn't fuel you. It kills you. It literally kills you. It isn't going to make you stronger, faster, healthier, smarter, or better. Is going to do the opposite, and you know this. You know you don't need to need any of that junk, but it's the only choice. Wrong. Unless you have gone an extended period of time without food, you do not need to eat, and you definitely don't need to eat that poison. You don't need to eat it. You don't even know what hungry is. Humans can go 30 days without food. Didn't know that. Okay, that's new for me. You can make it. So when those foods are tempting you, calling your name and enticing you with their sugar-coated lies, get angry, get aggressive, stand your ground in the battle and fight by saying no. Hold the line. Hold the line for your health, your mental toughness, and to exercise your will, which is, I promise, is stronger than the will of a donut. If you want it to be, hold the line. So, sugar-coated lies, I know my students for sure, not all of them, but a good portion of them get tired of me talking about healthy eating and not really taking away their foods, but talking about their Cokes and their cakes and their chips and their certain candies and stuff like that. But I know this stuff already. I think all my students know all this stuff already. It's just the fact that, they just don't want to let it go. But it's just lack of willpower, lack of strength, lack of discipline, lack of wanting to improve your health and your family's health. Because at least for me, I like to set the example for my family. So I've always been this way. I've always been this way for as long as I can remember. And wrestling was probably my base for getting into martial arts and learning how to take better care of myself, because we had to cut weight. And obviously back then, in the early 90s or whatever, we weren't cutting weight like the most healthiest way. But I couldn't eat certain foods because obviously I can't make weight eating certain foods. So I had to cut all that stuff out. So that really helped put things in place way back then. And then, of course, there's times where I did eat certain foods, and I didn't like the way they made me feel. I didn't like the way they made me look. I didn't. It just mentally just messed with me all the way around. So, I definitely stick to the more healthier side. Have a better discipline to say no. I don't eat donuts. I don't drink sodas. I don't like fried foods. I don't do fast foods. If it is, it's like healthier options, obviously. So, and the thing about this is, it's the weekend. It's Saturday, so it's like it's always you hear, well, it's the weekend. You can cheat, which you should. You should have indulge a little bit in some of the goodies that you like, but don't overdo it. Don't get carried away. But throughout the week, Monday through Friday, stuff like that, this is it. Like I said, it's just not me, spitting this stuff out. Someone, Navy SEAL, gets high respect from a lot of people. And it is what it is. I like how he just keeps it to the point. He's very blunt with a lot of things. And it's just good stuff. So it's not just coming from me. It's coming from someone else. But if you have some goals, you need to stick to them. You need to write them down, put them in place, and then just say no. Have the willpower to just take better care of yourself, better care of your health. And like I said, a lot of times it's the people around you that are watching you. They're watching what you're eating. They're watching what you're doing. They're watching what you're saying. They're listening to what you're saying. So it's so hard for me sometimes to see family members of mine and friends of mine, students of mine, eating certain things and knowing that they can do better, because I just know they can, and I want them to do better. And so that's why I push so hard with this. I go really, really hard with the healthy eating stuff, because even with the kids program that we have, Saturday mornings, like right now, normally we'd have class in a couple hours, and I would ask the kids, who had a healthy breakfast and who didn't. And the ones that didn't, I'd have them do push-ups, just to kind of make them self-aware of and explain to them what the difference is between certain foods and why certain foods aren't that good for you and stuff like that. So, but a lot of the foods that we do eat, it's because of, what we were brought up on and stuff like that. When I was a kid, I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. I just ate what my parents cooked for me, what my mom made for me. But as I got older, I started to realize, this stuff smells good, it tastes good, but it isn't good for me, And I'll share a story with you real quick. When I moved here, and then my parents followed me shortly after, my mom, just like any other mom, would make some dinner, and she would call me over and invite me over for dinner and say, "Hey, come over and eat," blah blah. And I would say, "Ma, what'd you cook? What'd you make?" "Well, I made X, Y, and Z, some kind of Mexican unhealthy food." And I was like, I can't do it. And she would obviously get her feelings hurt. She wants her son to come over and eat and spend time with her, sit at the dinner table with her. But, I just had to tell her no. And because of the foods that she was making, I just wasn't going to put that stuff in my body and allow myself to just sit there and eat that. And so I had to make a point, stand my ground, hold the line, like he says right here, hold the line. So I was holding the line back then. And man, my mom, my dad, and everyone else was talking about me big time. Just like people do now about all this stuff, But, my mom was pretty hurt, and I just had to explain to her and tell her, "Hey, look, if you want me to come over and eat, cook some healthy stuff, and I'll be there. I'll drop what I'm doing, and I'll be there." And so eventually that's what she started doing. She started to cook healthy foods, nice salads, salmon, asparagus, stuff like that. She'd make the spaghetti differently, whole grain noodles and lean ground beef or lean ground turkey and, some broccoli, she would make certain foods, but would make it the healthier option. And I started to come over and spend time with her, For instance, she came over yesterday with some homemade ceviche that she made. Man, it was delicious. All healthy ingredients in there, But if I didn't hold my ground like that, I would be eating those foods, sitting there at the table, probably kind of pouty and just forcing myself to do something that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do it, and I had to hold the line against my mom and explain to her that my health was more important, and I needed to have some healthier options there. So anytime she calls me over now, it's for the nice healthy meal, and it's good times. And I'll have dinner with my mom and my dad and stuff like that. So another quick story is, I just won't allow certain things in my house. Certain foods. There's no hot pockets, oven pizzas, no sodas. I got family members that come over, my nephew come over, whoever would come over to the house and like, man, you don't got nothing good in here. There's no food. I'm like, man, there's a whole refrigerator full of food. There's a pantry full of food in there. It's just not junk food. There's no chips, there's no candy, there's no sodas. And so, they would talk about me because of that stuff. But it is what it is. You come around me, you be around me, we're gonna eat healthy, we're gonna eat clean and take care of our bodies and stuff like that. And so if you are thinking about taking care of yourself better, like you should, everyone should, do it. Do it. Have some discipline, and take better care of yourself. Again, be a leader for the family members that you have, people around you. Believe me, when you start losing the weight that you want to lose, you start looking better, you start feeling better, people notice, and they start complimenting you, and you like that. Hey man, you look good. Look like you lost some weight. You look like you walk around with your head a little higher. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this, and this, and then it starts getting other people thinking, you know what? Yeah, I want to feel like that. I want to look like that. I want to be like that, because the opposite also happens. I had a student one time, I'm not going to say his name, but he came back to jiu-jitsu because he was a back and forth jiu-jitsu guy. He'd come and go, come and go, come and go. And love this guy, man. He's great to have on the mat, good personality. Anyways, I asked him what brought him back to jiu-jitsu, because he came back again for the, I don't know, whatever time, 6 times, 7 times, after taking breaks. And he said, man, coach, we're in the locker room. And he goes, I'll be honest with you. I came back because I ran into someone I haven't seen in a while. And the first thing they said was like, man, you look like you put on some weight. And he said, that hurt. Like, that wasn't a good feeling. Like, that hurt him inside. You know what I mean? That hurt him. And he did. He put on like probably 20 plus pounds. And he already wasn't feeling good about himself. And here he runs into someone he hasn't seen in a while. Because you see someone every day, you notice things, but it's not that noticeable. You haven't seen anyone in months, and they look one way, and then they look another now. It's gonna be more noticeable. So, anyways, he's like, I had to come back. I gotta get in shape. I gotta get rid of this stuff. I gotta do better. I know I can do better. And then I was like, cool, let's do better. So, anyone out there, you guys know you can do better. So let's do better, okay? Sugar-coated lies, Jocko, speaking the gift here, man. Talking about donuts and drinking soda and having some discipline and holding the line and just doing the right things. And again, your family will thank you for it, because they're going to be healthier because you're healthier. And then everyone's going to, who wants diabetes and heart disease and all kind of other complications? Some of that stuff's hereditary, but a lot of that stuff is self-inflicted. And we can prevent it. Let's prevent it. So it's the weekend. Be careful what you eat. Don't overdo it. And, don't wait till Monday if you're going to make some changes. Make them happen now. All right? Sugar-coated lies. Don't let that stuff happen. All right? You guys have a great day, great weekend. And I'll talk to you guys again soon.